Alright guys, so welcome back to another Patreon request, and this one comes from Stingy Jack. And as always, if you guys would like to have a Patreon request done, please head on over to the link below, head on over to my Patreon, where you guys can hit the 4th tier, and when you do, you can send me requests for videos to do here on YouTube, like requests, comic reviews, anything of that nature. And also, you can check out the exclusive content over on Patreon as well. So yeah, this request, like I said, comes from Stingy Jack, and Stingy Jack asked me to do basically a massive crossover between Disney. It's basically Disney versus Cartoon Network. Like, that's the idea, is Disney versus Cartoon Network. So what would it be like if you had both sides run into each other? So I kind of treated this as kind of like the old Marvel versus DC comic, if you guys remember that dumpster fire. And also you had like a little bit of JLA Avengers, like kind of like those, like the last few Marvel DC crossovers before it was like, until, you know, Joe Quesada decided to shit can all of that. Thanks, Joe. And we'll never get another Marvel DC crossover, because Disney. Anyway, so yeah, I just kind of took a lot of inspiration from that, from those stories. So let's get into it with this crossover. So this story is basically following around two godlike beings who are kind of like brothers, and they're both like the pillars of their respective multiverses. One is of the Disney multiverse, and the other is the Cartoon Network Disney multiverse. So the two beings are not really aware of each other until one day they become suddenly aware of one another, and they're like, I don't like you. And they're like, I don't like you either. So the two end up deciding to start getting ready to fight. However, this kind of triggers like the kind of like the oldest beings and like kind of like godlike beings of each multiverse kind of sense that these two cosmic like pillars of their respective multiverses are about to throw down. So rather than have them throw hands, they run in and go, stop, 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 stop. What do we got to do to stop this? So the two beings basically go, well, I want to win, and I want to prove I'm better. Well, I want to prove I'm better. So the two respective sides of cosmic beings are like, okay, listen, what if we have a tournament of some kind? Like, what if we had some kind of like tournament to like prove who's superior of the two of us, of the two, and the winner, like, and one of them goes, destroys the other universe. And they're like, what? Yeah, you heard me. We're gonna, like, the loser is the multiverse they guard over is destroyed. And they're like, oh, shit. Okay, be right back. Fuck. So yeah. So more or less, there's just a message that's put out between the two sides, like the two respective multiverses, and everyone goes, and basically the word goes out is there's going to be a big fight, and whichever side wins that universe is going to survive. So best of luck. So obviously this is like panic mode, because everyone's like, oh shit, we're going to have to fight other people. So yeah, you have the Cartoon Network side, and you have the Disney side. So the two sides are about to go to war, and it's going to be all-out war. So essentially what happens is that the two pillars, the two beings, create like little battle zones across this little like battle planet, and more or less select their champions in kind of like a Secret Wars kind of thing. Like, they just basically like gather a bunch of different warriors from across the multiverse and are like, yeah, this is what's gonna happen. We're gonna build like a big multiversal like combat arena, and they're all gonna be like little battle zones throughout. So yeah, so you have like characters on the Disney side. Now obviously it's gonna be like the Disney shows, because Cartoon Network doesn't really have like movie characters to use. I mean, you could use Warner, but yeah, let's just go. It's just the shows. It's just, to make it easier, we're just going to follow the shows. So, like on the Disney side, you have, of course, characters from Gravity Falls, Amphibia, Gargoyles, Owl House, all of the regular regular shows over on the Cartoon Network side. But yeah, like Ed, Edd n Eddy, regular show, all of those, like Adventure Time, Powerpuff Girls, Johnny Bravo, all of those characters are over on that end, and they're basically told, here's what's going to happen. You guys are going to more or less go into a big war, and both sides are going to fight, and whoever has the most wins by the end of this little event is going to be crowned the best multiverse, the better of the two universes, and the other universe is going to get destroyed. And they're like, well, is there a way we can not do that? And they're like, nope. So, yeah. So now it's like, well, I don't want to fight you, but I want to keep my universe, so, fuck you. So more or less all the characters are thrown into a him or me kind of situation. And everyone picks them. So that's where everyone is in this kind of situation, is that it's a very much a them or me kind of situation. And among the fights, you have all these characters run into each other, like Finn fights Kim Possible. Yeah, Finn and Jake fight Kim and Ron. Which Ron is like, am I supposed to be fighting a talking dog? Okay, this is weird. You have Jake who Jake takes on who did I have Jake fight in? Oh yeah, Juniper Lee. Yeah, Juniper Lee fights Jake Long. You have like the Gargoyles fight the SWAT Cats. Yeah, Gargoyles and SWAT Cats throw down. You have Dipper and Mabel take on Wirt and his brother from Over the Garden Wall, because of course I was going to have those two fight. You have, like, as for other big collaboration battles, you have like oh crap, I lost it. But yeah, you more or less have like characters on both sides, ranging from heroes to regular characters to just back and forth. Like, those characters are just all out fighting. But among this, there are some characters who are like, this is really dumb. Sorry about that. But yeah, like I was saying, like, there are some characters who are among this big battle, this big war between the two sides, are like, this is really dumb. So among those are the two that really kind of forge the alliance are Ford and Bubblegum. So Ford and Bubblegum are the two that kind of collab, even though Bubblegum's like, she's already said, like, I've already like thought about this, and like I will, if we can't find like a peaceful solution, like she straight up tells Ford, if we can't find like a peaceful solution, I have no problem with wiping out your universe. And he's like, funny, I was gonna say the same thing. So both of them have like a tentative alliance where they're just like, let's see if we can solve this in a peaceful, productive manner. And if that fails, we'll just kill each other. Like, we'll just find a way to destroy the universe, or find a way to mutually destroy the universe. That sound cool? Cool. So the two more or less go on a quest to deep into the cosmos to figure out, to basically figure out what they could do to stop these two brothers from killing each other. Eventually, the two sides of this ongoing conflict, Bonnibel and Ford, find their way to the two brothers, who are also kind of they're kind of getting tired because the fights are just kind of dragging on, and both it seem like it's an endless stalemate, and it's just dragging on, and they're just like, we don't know what to do. They're fighting each other, but they're like, it's going to tear the multiverse apart the longer that those two sides battle each other. So eventually the two, like Ford and Bubblegum, kind of like play mediator between the two, where the two sides are forced to like sit down and just talk about their existence. Like, yeah, the two universes are great, but there's no need for mindless bloodshed. And Ford's like, I can't do, like, Ford and Bubblegum are like trying to convey that, but they're like so detached from humanity. They're like, hang on one second. So they run So basically what they do is go back and run and grab the two people who are capable of talking about this, which are Finn and Mabel. So Finn and Mabel are the moderators for the two universes, to sit down and talk. And yeah, and Finn, like, Mabel's like, I'm desensitized enough to this, and Finn's like, I've talked to godlike beings to convince them not to be assholes for a while, and they're like, why didn't you get Steven? Because like I wanted to have this fun moment where Ford goes, why didn't you grab Steven, Princess Bubblegum, and Bubblegum goes, I was not going to trust the fate of the universe to that emotionally unstable butthead. I was not gonna trust the fate of the multiverse to that little jack off. Anyway, so long story short, the two sides are basically create an armistice, and they leave. Like, they basically, like, depart. They take their toys, go back their multiverses, and erase everyone else's memory of this except for those who saw this. So Ford and Mabel remember, as well as Finn and Bubblegum. They're the only four that remember this whole thing. So there you go, guys. That is pretty much my little Disney versus Cartoon Network video. I want to thank Stingy Jack for coming up with this video. And if you would like to have, like I said earlier, if you would like to have a Patreon request done, head on over to my Patreon, hit the link below, and hit the 4th tier where you guys can send me requests. Other than that, I'm Mr. Multiverse. I'll see you next time in the multiverse.